This will be a review of the 2022 Tesla Model Y. So, and just to give you a little background, this is the third one my wife has had. So we've had three of these, and we're going to go over some of the most important things here. So we're going to start off up front here. LED lights. These LED lights are magnificent. They really light up the road. It's been lights up the road so much until we've actually had a friend of mine was driving and my wife came up behind her, and it lit up the road for her. She was like, wow, I can really see. My wife gets back into her older car and she can't even tell if the headlights are on compared to this. So those LED lights really magnificent there. Let's hold on one second. We're gonna open up this front. We're gonna look inside this before we go off any further. Open front. Open front. So that's just one of the voice commands. I'll show you much more when we get inside, but starting here, going inside. So totally electric vehicle. Teslas have no engine. They're not a hybrid, so there is no engine period. So that gives you additional storage space up here to put all type of items in. That storage place is pretty deep here, so you got a pretty good amount of room in here. As you can see, you can keep charging equipment in there all you want, or if you got some quick groceries you want to throw in, just gives you some extra storage space there. Great. Tesla suggests when you do close this, first bring it down just a little bit. It's going to clamp right there, not close but clamp. Then hand here, they suggest firm push down like that, and there you go. So coming on around to the side, this is the performance version. So you actually have two versions of this now. You've got the standard range. I'm sorry, not the standard range. You have the long range dual motor edition, and you have the performance edition. Some of the ways you can tell your performance edition from just the long range edition would be down here. You're gonna see you got red calipers. So the long range other edition does not have the red calipers, so that would be one way. This comes with the, this one has the 21-inch wheels on it. So you have the 21-inch wheels. These wheels are wider than what's on the long range and bigger, so you have more of that for the performance. Those red calipers really set it off in my opinion, so I like those. As you come around the vehicle, I won't point them all out, but you will see one of the cameras here on the side. You do have 8 cameras around this vehicle that helps with the autopilot, so that's a very nice setup there. As we come on around, you will see again in the back, of course, you've got the rear 21-inch wheels with the red calipers again there. And here we're going to stop and talk about, this is very important here, so your charging system. So let's go a little bit into this because that's very important. So your range, again, you have two different editions of the Model Y. You've got the long range version, which we talked about, and which my wife had before. So we had that one before, so we actually got experience with both of them, and not just test driving it for a day. We owned the vehicle for about a year and a half. So with this performance model here, you get about 305 miles of range. A lot of things they do say, so 305 miles of range on the performance version. If you got the long range dual motor, which is basically the same setup, that gets about 330 miles of range. So the difference is they both have the same size battery, but because this has got the wider, sportier tires, it's more resistant, so that's why it drops your range to 305. And the non-performance model has about 330 miles of range, and it's due to that, not that this has a smaller battery in it. So that's why you get that. Let's talk a little bit about charging. This is your, as you can see here, it comes with a cord that I'm going to show you in the back in a second, but you simply plug in right here at home. This is where you're going to do most of your charging. One of the key things about this right now, your average vehicle is probably $60, $70 to fill up with gas, just depending. This is about $10 worth of electricity cost, so it's equivalent. So instead of paying $60 or $70 to fill up with gas, you would fill up with this electricity for about $10. Now that's an estimate, but it's pretty accurate. I'm going to show you, we're going to go in and show you on the cable also where it comes from. Let's go ahead and knock out the cable in the back real quick, and then we will we will, hold on, let me get this garage open. So, so we're gonna knock out the cable here in the back. I'm gonna show you, we'll go in the front here in a second, but I wanna show you the cable, so here in the back. So this is your bag that you get a cable in. This used to come included with the vehicle. Now, I believe they do not. But this is your cable that will allow you to plug in and charge. So this cable, one end goes into the car, and the other end, see, I'm gonna show you real quick. This end here, there's another connector that goes in there, and that plugs into the wall. And they have one connector for a 110, and they have another connector for a 240. So let me show you here. So this right here would plug into here, and then this other end would plug into your 110 outlet. Now that's the slowest charge that you can get there. That charge takes about, if you were totally empty with this vehicle, you're looking at about 24 hours for that charge. To me, you definitely want to upgrade and get something faster than that. This here, so with Tesla, if you're at a Wawa's or something like that, you don't need this, it plugs directly in. But if you're at some of your charge points or some of the other third parties, you would just put this on the end of the piece that goes into the car, and then this would allow you to use their charger. So it's an adapter that comes with. So again, I don't think this comes with the car anymore. This cord, I forget how much it is, but comes in a really good case here. So we'll come back. Someone just close this. We'll come back to this rear here. No, actually, I'm gonna leave that open. So let's go over here to some important things here. So when you come over here, you follow this cord here, and you see you have, this is actually the Tesla home wall charger here. This is the fastest option you have for charging at home. This gets you about 60 miles every hour that is plugged in. So it puts about 60 miles of range on the car for every hour that is plugged in. And again, that is the fastest charge you can get right there. So we went on and invested in that. I like that because I didn't want to have, if you don't have this, your second option, again, I spoke about 3 different options you have. The basic one is the 110 outlet, like I showed you in the back of the car that plugs into the 110 outlet. It takes about 24 hours. Your next step up, which is a significant step up, if you see, you'll see the 240 volt outlet that we have down here installed. So we had used that at one point. So just like I showed you that little 110 outlet little cord will clip into the charger, they also have a little one, it's a 240 one that it'll clip into that base and you would just charge there. Now this 240 does about 45 to 50 miles per hour every hour of charge. That's good, that's decent, that was sufficient for us. We never needed anything more than that. We just went on and upgraded to this. One, I wanted to be able to show this to you guys, and 2, I like the fact that this comes with its own cord. So as you see, this one here has its own cord, so you don't have to take the cord out of the car. So the cord in the car stays in the car. So if we go somewhere, the cord's in the car and we don't have to take it out. So it's already in there if we need to charge somewhere and not taking it out and moving it, you know, from here to there and back to here. So that pretty much sums up, I think, that as far as your charging options there, your 3 charging options. So again, I would suggest at least do the 240 option, in my opinion. So, so coming back to the back of the vehicle again, storage is great back here. You actually do have very nice storage compartment there. We use this for the groceries 90% of the time. Very nice because you put the groceries in there and they're not, you know, all over the place when you're turning and stuff. And that's a pretty deep compartment. So there's plenty of room in there. Like you see how far my arm's going down there. So pretty deep compartment, plenty of space there. You've got space on the side over here. Like a gallon or 2 of milk could go there. And then you've got the same space over here on this right side, another gallon or 2 of milk there. And I showed you the space under here again, which is a smaller space, not as deep, but it still gives you a little room. So you do have, if you see the buttons over here, which would let down the seats, you pop those and they will let down the seats so that you don't have to go around and do that. So that's a pretty nice option there. So coming on around, as we look into the back interior of the car, You'll see the white leather seats there. White, last I checked, is $1,000 upgrade. Black is free. It's now no additional cost. The main question I get asked with these white seats are, can you keep them clean? Is there an issue with that? Again, this is our third Tesla. We had white seats in all of them. We never had an issue. It actually comes with a coating on the seat, and it has done a great job of anything that was to get on it. It wipes off like really easy, no issue. These seats do have a reclining option here, so I'm going to show you here real quick. And there's good room back here too, right here. And this once I'm gonna put a little pressure, like so. Once you're leaning back, and you let you go back like that. So, and I think it's got actually 2 different settings it can do for that. So, you got your reclining thing there, which gives you nice. Again, it's good room back there. I'm gonna let my seat up just to show you, because my seat, I keep it laid. You see, it's all laid back, but so even with just letting that up a little bit, I'll show you what type of room you got back here. I'm 6'3", and as you can see, I would be very comfortable right there. And even that seat could come back a little bit more. You've got air vents back here, works great. You got USB-C, so that's like the latest USB-C outlets there for charging and stuff like that. You've got the panoramic roof up here, the glass top, and I like it. It doesn't have any interruption in it. It's just a complete glass roof that looks super nice. I really like that. So again, plenty of room back here, and because of the electric vehicle, you don't have any hump back here in the middle, so you've got that room. There's no hump to be worried about, so you got, you know, just a blank space there. So it's plenty of room back here. So all right, and we'll come out of here. And as we come around to the front, I will show you also, Tesla has put double pane glass, you can see right there. So that really helps down with the road noise, because with no engine noise, it's really quiet in here. So you can hear like the noise from the tires. So that really helps take that down a lot there. So up here, I'll show you even without touching the seat, you know, when I showed you the room I had back there, and still, you know, I've got pretty decent room right there. You know, I might would let that back a little bit, but pretty decent room right there. And again, that's me, I'm 6'3", so pretty decent room here. So we're gonna come around over to the driver's side. We'll show you some of the interior features and stuff inside. So Miss Camera Lady, so I'm gonna get inside. If you want to jump in there, Miss Camera Lady, I'm gonna go around to the other side, and we'll show them some of these interior features here. So I love that white leather. Oh, and let's talk about, before I forget, we're going to talk about some of the performance of the vehicle. So again, the long range edition, which is, you know, the non-performance model, that one there, 0 to 60 is 4.8 seconds, a max speed of about 135 miles per hour. So that is, if you don't know about the numbers, a lot of people say the numbers, and if you don't know, you know, anything about numbers, you may not know what that means. But 4.8 seconds in a 0 to 60 is an extremely fast vehicle. That'll outrun like your base Mustang, your V6 Mustang, your Chargers, your Challengers with the V6 in them. So that's a very fast vehicle already by itself. This one here, the performance edition, 0 to 60 is 3.5 seconds and top speed of 155 miles per hour. So see here. So we're just gonna, I'm going over just a few of the features in here, and there's a ton of stuff to go over with you, but I'm gonna go over some of what I think is the most important. Starting off, so to drive the car, just foot on brake, and bam, you know, charging port's in now, so it won't let me go, but that would be how you drive it. Just pull that down once to go into drive. That would be reverse. Park is the button right there. So you just hit that little button right there, and that puts you in park. The screen here, which is everything is done through the screen. So this is probably going to be one of your major differences if you're coming from a traditional type car. Everything about it's done through the screen. Air conditioning, you know, just everything. That's why you don't see a lot of buttons around. Radio controls, air conditioning, everything is done through the screen there. So I actually like that. Some people don't, but I actually like that. I like the simplicity of it and how clean it looks, everything through the screen. So These do come with basic, Tesla come with a basic autopilot. So meaning on the interstate, it will basically drive itself. So if you engage autopilot on the interstate, it's like a souped up cruise control. It will stay behind the car you're following. If that car brakes, it will brake. It won't run into it. It will, match the speed. It will do the basic things and stay in your lane. So you don't have to touch the steering wheel. It will stay in its lane. There is an advanced, what they call FSD, full self-driving. That is an additional $12,000 last time I checked. And that there gives you some additional features. That's in beta. So when they're done with that out of beta, you will basically, from your driveway here, you would be able to take me wherever and it will take you right from there. Now it does, as of right now, it gives you a few extra benefits. For instance, if you've seen some of the videos where the car comes pick up the owner from the front of the grocery store or something, that's one of the additional features called Summon that you would get if you paid the extra $12,000 and got the full self-driving. Also, with full self-driving, when you're on the interstate, it will actually change lanes, so it actually get off the exit ramp for you. So it does a little more on the interstate. Like if the car in front of you starts to slowing down, you got it at 70 and you run into a vehicle doing 60, it will actually change lanes, go around that car, get back in front of it and keep going at your speed. So those are some of the benefits you get if you want to do the full self-driving for the additional $12,000. Also, last I checked, they did have, if you just want to try it out, you could do $250 a month, I think, to try out full self-driving. So a lot of this has voice commands, which I love. So some of the voice commands you can do is like this here. Open glove box. And I'm right on the edge of our Wi-Fi, so normally this works great, but it's at the edge of the Wi-Fi here, so it's trying to pick up my Wi-Fi. So open glove box. So, but normally, like I said, if I went on the edge of my Wi-Fi side of the house, it would work great. At least use its own signal or closer to the Wi-Fi, so a better signal. I love the navigation in this. You couldn't make this any easier. Let's say here, navigate Tampa, Florida. And you just tell it where you want to navigate. Did that come up correctly on there? Well, let's see here. Navigate Tampa, Florida. And again, like I say, I'm at the edge of my Wi-Fi here. I should have pulled off a little bit more, so it may not want to engage. Let me try another one. Launch Netflix. So it'll launch Netflix, and those are some of the other features that you may not be used to also. So it has Netflix, you have YouTube, you have several things like that probably normally that you wouldn't have. So and again, right at the edge of this Wi-Fi, I should have really moved that, but you do have those options. So I'm not sure we had got ours set up yet with our account and stuff. So hold on, I'm gonna see if I can move. Let me see if I can move up a little bit. Hold on, maybe get some of these features to work there. So that Netflix is not. Hold on, I'm gonna show you here in a second. Yep, so all right, so let's jump back. We'll try this again now. Let's see. Launch Netflix. Launch YouTube. And like I said, you see it comes up. And again, this works seamlessly. I'm just at the edge of my Wi-Fi connection. So, but you got, so see if I can show you a few more commands here.